But I actually brought the Petri dish down and put it on her desk and said, look, like there is mold in here and it's hurting everybody. It's kind of ridiculous. And she told me to get it off her desk because it was gross. And I said, this is what I breathe every day, so fix it.
When the news broke about Johnson being infested with mold, how did you react?
I was not surprised. I was actually surprised that they came out and made an announcement about it. There had been mold when I lived there back in 2019, and it was all over my room. It was in the air vents, it was in basically the air. Me and my roommate put out a Petri dish and it collected mold over 2 weeks and it was completely covered.
Johnson Hall, located in the heart of Virginia Commonwealth University, has a rich history dating back to its establishment as an apartment complex in 1913. It was purchased in the 1950s by VCU, then known as Richmond Professional Institute, with intentions of turning it into a dormitory. It has stood the test of time, providing a roof over the heads of countless students over the years. However, in recent times, the dorm has become infamous for its mold issue, with over 500 reports of mold, moisture, and mildew within the building since 2020.
In Richmond, mold shuts down a VCU dorm for the rest of the school year.
The issue is mold and elevated levels of it. Today, I was able to see photos of what appears to be black and green mold growing in air vents and water fountains. VCU stated that test results just came back on Monday, and officials immediately notified students and shut down the dorm the next day. However, students and parents were shocked. Scrambling to find living arrangements, students are not allowed back inside until they receive direct communication from the university.
VCU have plans to renovate the dorm that have been updated as recently as April 14th, 2023. But there isn't a publicly accessible timeline on when the dorm might be ready, with VCU stating that it desires to perform a comprehensive renovation of the building, but there is very little information as to when these renovations may start or end.
How long did you live in Johnson Hall?
I lived in Johnson Hall from about August 2019 until maybe March, April of 2020 when COVID came.
Kellen says it's no shock that the dorm closed due to the horrid conditions that he and others experienced while living there.
I wasn't surprised due to the fact that I'd already done some preemptive testing because I have a mold allergy myself, and it was definitely affecting me on a daily basis.
The closure of Johnson Hall was a result of the severe mold issue, which was due to several factors. The main one being that the bathroom and the shower facilities were inadequate, with only 4 toilets and 3 showers for around 40 students on each floor, leading to a constantly wet environment with high levels of humidity.
VCU took a survey of the dorm, and due to the constant humidity, 41 out of 228 spaces tested had an elevated spore count of mold. Despite the issue predating COVID and the closure of the dorm by multiple years, VCU decided to instead reallocate the funds to build a new $121 million STEM building directly behind Johnson Hall. Instead of remedying the mold issue that has been plaguing students for years at Johnson, the very same students that would be utilizing this new facility if they had a dorm to stay in. VCU had known about the mold issue for years and still decided to move students in post-pandemic. This led to a variety of health issues for students living in the dorms.
I mean, as I said, I'm allergic, and even if you're not, being exposed to mold like that for a long period of time is detrimental to anyone's health. But with my allergy, I was sick. I was sick anytime I was in my dorm. I couldn't figure out really what it was till I got the test, but yeah, I was constantly ill.
And tell me a little bit more about the bathroom situation.
The Johnson Hall bathroom situation is pretty disgusting. So my floor, I was on the 11th floor. There were 48, I believe, guys on that floor. We had 3 showers and 2 working toilets. So when you have 48 dudes using 2 toilets, you're bound to have some interesting experiences in there. Definitely wasn't the cleanliest. There was a big fruit fly infestation and other kinds of insect problems. So yeah, the bathrooms weren't great for sure. Yeah, they were soaking wet all the time.
These effects were not felt just by Kellen, but students across the board. Aryan Tandale is a senior at VCU who used to live in Johnson his freshman year.
So did you have any health issues that were impacted by the mold?
Yeah, just congested noses. My roommate's very allergic to mold, so he was coughing and basically just had fever symptoms every time he stepped into the dorm to the moment he left. He was pretty much sick for all 8 months. It was pretty rough living there.
These two lived there in 2019, showing just how widespread the issue is and just how long VCU knew about it before deciding to take action.
It's not the most clean experience. Bathrooms would get very sweaty and muggy. It would get like humid in there, and if one person took a shower, it would kind of radiate through the whole floor, and somebody uses the bathroom, then yeah, you can imagine how that was like. Just wasn't a good experience. Yeah, I mean, there was mold throughout the building. There was mold in the showers as well, which is not the best thing. You expect a shower to be someplace where you clean yourself, and then the shower itself is dirty. So
Johnson Hall has been through many transitionary periods in its life cycle, from being a hotel in the early 1900s to its status as a dormitory today. It is time for VCU to reevaluate what they want to do with the dorm and put measures in place to ensure the safety of the future students who live there.